Bfdi is a show of lots of characters. You should know this since you've probably already seen it since you're watching this video. I won't explain the show, but what I will say is the characters have varying popularity. Like, obviously, Roy would not be as popular as Fanny, who's the most prominent character of all of her teams since episode 7 of Teapot. And there are some characters that are more popular than they should be. When this kind of sucks, since viewer opinion really matters for the show. Like, more popular characters get to stay in screen for longer, and unpopular characters get less screen time because nobody wants them to stay. And so I'm going to talk about those more popular characters that are hogging all the screen time from the other less cool characters. Also their opinions. Coiny is the most overrated character in Bfdi. He does literally nothing. Remember in season 1 when he had that whole Hate Fiery plot? Only gets brought up twice in Bfdi, his most prominent season. And in that same season, he's literally just a follower the entire time. And also, his only actual interesting thing where Pin portrays him happens within the final 6, which is kinda stupid. Kind of don't like this since he definitely has a chance of winning Bfdi, which I'm pretty sure every other character definitely deserves it more, and also might rejoin Teapot than the other interesting characters who got out, which is pretty bad. Honestly, there could have been a few ways to make Coiny a more interesting character, like having the Pin villain arc sooner, or having, instead of Fiery switching over to Free Florent, having Fiery join over to Wool Bunch, and then that would be, how they get the Coiny Fiery thing. But really, Coiny's just kinda boring in the season, and he does nothing in Teapot, so I can't really think of anything to do with that. Tennis Ball is the second and last overrated character from Bfdi, and pretty much just because he does nothing at all. Just a dislocated character similar to Nickel and Fries, except there's already two. Don't need a third character that's going on doing their own thing every other episode. And they could have done something interesting with Tennis Ball and Nickel, because they did quite a lot of episode 14 and that small bit in episode 17 Bfdi, but after that there's not really much, and in those two episodes didn't even get that much time. And also, aside from that, Tennis Ball does nothing in Bfdi and also Teapot at all, and there was one episode with Tennis Ball and Gelatin, but that was all the way last year, which was a year ago. Kinda sad since he would probably win Bfdi or Teapot if he doesn't, so yeah. And what can they do to change this? Just give them something to do. Nickel and Fries both do their own thing already, so why have another character do that when you can just get Tennis Ball to do something interesting, maybe the Yo-Yo thing, but instead of it being from other characters, it was just more of him going after it himself, or just give him something similar to that. But I think it's kind of late to do that since, like I said earlier with Coiny, Bfdi is in its final 6, and for Teapot, really I have no idea, because it doesn't do much, so not much you can do with him. Lai is pretty interesting when it comes to the topic of overratedness. She's only been in 3 episodes of Teapot, which is a season that really likes to do a lot of characters, so it's kind of weird that the debuter with more votes gets less to do. And yes, she barely does anything, despite doing that one thing in episode 15 where she does the whole killer thing, and in episode 16, that was mostly related to what Pen was doing that episode, and Lai didn't really get much to do with herself. And it's kind of sucks because there's a lot you can do with Lai coming back, the whole murder mode thing. Do more with that'd be interesting. And also in episode 13 she still mentions how she still doesn't really like Deathpack that much. Maybe have a team rivalry, that would be pretty cool. Also, I just don't know where to mention this, but you can really tell that the writers really did not want Lai to join, because with more votes than Pencil, they made it a double debut, and they kind of just left Lai to not do that much. I don't know, maybe that's just I guess. I'll be counting Marker and Grassy in the same section, for similar reasons, since they're both characters I think are popular for the same reasons. They're just silly, and people like that. I really get why they're both popular, but I really don't think they should be in. But something I do have to say is that they have been improving. Grassy becoming Tree for a little while in Teapot 16, and Marker just doing a little bit more, and Marker's silly guy, I like him, yeah, Marker's silly guy, and he's ill, but still kind of overrated. Same with Grassy. Black Hole has definitely been one of the most overrated characters for quite a while, and I would say he's the most overrated, well, besides Coiny, and that's because he doesn't compete in BFDIA too. Anyway, he got the most votes in that one BFB voting thing, I think it was in episode 13, and also he's been consistently getting the most votes in Teapot, aside from that one episode thing, and it's just kind of weird because he doesn't really do that much at all, and when he did have something, which was the whole, preventing death thing and arguing with Fanny for a while, it was kind of annoying the whole time, because recovery exists in that world, there's no real point in preventing death, and kinda sucks because he'll probably make it into the final 5 of Teapot, and I'm gonna suggest a similar idea as to what Tennis Ball did, and just give him a new, plotline for, the next few episodes, since he's definitely gonna stay, something interesting, stuff relating with the big ol', glitchy, hole in the sky, something like that would be kinda cool. Wow, 2 debuters in one overrated character video. Kind of shocking. Anyway, price tag is very overrated. Price tag doesn't really do much in the entire show and is always the second or third safe somehow. And kind of been a funny continuous joke. They've always been the second safe until BFDI 16, where Snowball and Grassy took that medal and they both wore it proudly, figuratively I guess. Price tag has done a lot more with Yellowface and Teapot 16 as well. So if Yellowface is safe in Teapot 17, we get to see a lot more of that, but there's a pretty high chance that Yellowface isn't safe, so maybe just do more with Book since they've established that in episode 12. This isn't a part of the actual, overrated characters thing, but something I find kind of funny is the fact that Eggy's, always, at least, one of the top 5 or, 10 favorite characters of pretty much every non-object showrunner OSC YouTuber. I just find that fact kind of funny. Well, now that you made it to the end of this video, it's your duty to like and subscribe, like it was my duty to spend multiple hours of my life making this video. Anyway, I think there's a lot you can learn from this video, like the overrated characters of BFDI, like what you came for. Anyway, I'll probably do another video like this, maybe on underrated characters, maybe on more overrated characters. And if you have any overrated characters of your opinion, just comment it. Please. But, yeah. You've been late epic trolled. You thought that was the end of the video? Ha, idiot. I need to stretch us over the 8-hour mark, and for April Fools, TV is actually the last character we'll be talking about. That's right, after the conclusion. That was a really weird sound. Anyway, I don't think I need to explain why TV is such an overrated character. He stayed in consistently over much better characters. Those characters include Puffball, Fries, Needle, and Basketball. He's only been up for elimination 4 times, and that's already way too many episodes. We should stop voting TV unanimously, guys. Why is he still in the game? He's gonna be in, the final 3 or something, and the writers are gonna have to, make him sacrifice himself in the finale in order to get him out, man. Why is everyone voting for TV?